In this video, we will discuss about the holding company introduction. What is the holding company? A holding company is one which control one or more other companies by means a holding company has majority shares. That is, a company hold 51 percentage and above shares in another company. That company is called holding company. For example, Reliance Industry Limited is called the holding company. What is the meaning of subsidiary company? A subsidiary company is one which is controlled by another company by means of holding of majority shares. That is, Reliance Industry Limited is the holding company. Geo, Reliance Petroleum, Alk Industries, Network 18 Group, they are called the subsidiary company. That is, Reliance Company holding majority shares of Geo Company, Reliance Petroleum Company, Alk Industry Company and Network 18 Group Company. What is the meaning of consolidated balance sheet? It is the financial statement of a group presentation as a single enterprise, that is called the consolidated financial statement. That is, a single statement are presented of Reliance Industry, Geo, Reliance Petroleum, Alk Industry and Network 18 Group. In preparation of consolidated balance sheet, first we know the important five terminology. First one is the holding minority ratio. Second one is the minority interest. Third one, we find out the cost of control or goodwill or capital reserve. And next we divided the capital profit and revenue profit. We will discuss about the holding minority ratio. A holding minority ratio, we computing of the number of shares of holding company and number of shares of minority shareholder. The ratio is very important to ascertain in the preparation of consolidated balance sheet. Next is the minority interest. The holding company acquire the majority representation of the shares. The balance remaining shares handled by the public, that is called the minority interest. We calculated the minority interest, face value of minority equity shares, face value of minority preference shares and minority shares of capital profit, minority shares of revenue profit and minority shares of bonus shares, and less the minority shares of capital loss and minority shares of revenue loss. That is, in minority interest we find out what is the shares handled by the general public. That amount is very important to preparation of consolidated balance sheet. Next, we find out the cost of control or goodwill or capital reserve. That is, a holding company acquire majority of shares in the subsidiary company. If the holding company acquires shares more than the face value of the shares of subsidiary company is known as goodwill or cost of control or capital reserve. How you treated in the cost of control or goodwill and capital reserve? In the excess amount paid, it is treated as the goodwill. That is, balance we find out is the positive, it treated as the goodwill. Balance we find out it is the negative, we treated as the capital reserve. How to find out the value? That is, amount paid for shares purchased by the holding company in the subsidiary company and add the holding company shares of capital loss, less the value of face value of shares purchased, holding company shares of capital profit, holding company shares of bonus issued, holding company shares of dividend paid. If you less this value, if you got the answer is positive, it is the goodwill. If you find out the answer is the negative, it is the capital reserve. Next we discuss about the revenue profit, that another name is the post acquisition profit. profit earned by the subsidiary company after the date of acquisition of shares by the holding company are called the revenue profit. If the revenue profit we find out, the revenue profit is divided in the ratio of holding minority ratio. We divided the revenue profit in the minority share and holding company shares. If you find out the minority shares of revenue profit, that value we added in minority income. Holding company shares of revenue profit, it will be added in P&L account in consolidated balance sheet. Suppose we got the revenue loss, that also will be divided in the holding minority ratio. That loss of minority share be less in the minority income. Holding company revenue loss share, it will be less in the P&L account in consolidated balance sheet. Next we discuss about the capital profit, that is the pre-acquisition profit. All the accumulated profit of the subsidiary company on the date of purchase of shares by the holding company are called capital profit. That is, the information are given in the sum: capital reserve, general reserve, reserve fund, share premium and P&L account. That is, profit earned by the subsidiary company in the month before the purchase of share in the current year is to be taken as the capital profit, and profit on revaluation of asset and liability on the date of purchase has to be also treated as the capital profit. The treatment of capital profit, it is the capital profit also we divided in the ratio of holding minority ratio. We find out the minority shares of capital profit and holding company shares of capital profit. The minority share of capital profit we added in the minority income. Holding company shares of capital profit we are reduced from the cost of control or the capital reserve find calculation, or we get the answer in the capital loss. That loss also will be divided in the holding minority ratio. We find out the minority shares of capital loss are less in minority income. Our holding company shares of capital loss we added from cost of control. How you find out the capital profit? We are told about general reserve, capital reserve, P&L account and reserves of subsidiary company on the date of purchase. So less the value bonus issued by the subsidiary company from the pre-acquisition profit, or dividend paid by the subsidiary company from the pre-acquisition profit, or loss on revaluation asset and liability of the subsidiary company. You can add subsidiary company profit during the current year before purchase of shares and profit on revaluation asset and liability. Now you find out the net capital profit. Guys, thank you. In next video we'll discuss about the sum how to solve in the consolidated balance sheet. Thank you.